So much for joining us here on the broadcast. Great pleasure to talk to you. We now move on to our next story, and we move over to North America. And Mexican authorities are assessing possible successors after the killing of El Mencho, founder of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. The operation was carried out by the Mexican army with intelligence support from the United States, which had offered a multi-million-dollar reward for his capture. Attention has turned to his family, including daughter Jessica Joanna Oseguera Gonzalez, a US-born dual citizen who has previously served time in the United States for sanctions violations linked to the cartel. Her brother, Ruben Oseguera Gonzalez, is serving a life sentence in a US prison. Other possible contenders include El Mencho's stepson, Juan Carlos Valencia Gonzalez, who trusted lieutenants within the cartel. Following the killing, violence erupted in parts of Mexico, prompting President Claudia Sheinbaum to urge calm as security forces moved to restore order. Joining us on this story now on the broadcast is Alison Mutler, the former Associated Press Bureau Chief. She joins us live from Bucharest. Thank you very much for joining us, Alison. Great to have you in this discussion. There's concerns over this, of course, a huge development, but this decapitation strategy, the kingpin has now been killed, but we've seen now violence erupt across Mexico. What are the problems when it comes to this method in eliminating a kingpin? But now, of course, there is a huge organization, a multi-million-dollar organization, a cartel in Mexico, and it doesn't have a leader. What are the issues that have been raised?
Well, it's a many-headed hydra. The cartel has branches and people everywhere. And even with the kingpin gone, eliminated, neutralized, killed, there will be, other lieutenants who can step in, because in this kind of organization, the hierarchy is very important, and it's not something that is, run like a sort of dictatorship in North Korea. They have, if you like, branches everywhere. So even with him gone, there would have been contingent plans for his deputies to step in, and the organization will remain in place. So that would be very difficult for the Mexican army, for Mexican military and authorities to contend with. Obviously, it's a big symbolic victory, and his own family will be prosecuted. But it's not the end of the cartel for sure, because these are huge organizations, and they're very well organized. And it's not just centered in one place; it's all over Mexico.
Indeed. The United States, this is a joint operation. How will Washington be looking at this? We've heard Donald Trump be very, very vocal about his concerns over fentanyl coming from Mexico into the United States. Do you think he'll be pleased at this news, or the possibility of this might spiraling into something wider?
I think he will claim victory. It's a big symbolic victory, as you said in your before, that the US offered millions of dollars a reward for capturing and having eliminating El Mencho. So obviously it's a big victory on paper. It looks, the kingpin is gone, he's dead, but he knows there are problems. But knowing Donald Trump, he's a politician after all. He will focus on what is good and what makes him look good. But it doesn't mean the problem with fentanyl has disappeared quite, not at all. But he will, claim victory for his supporters, his MAGA supporters, other supporters. Look, I've managed to do this. I've managed, he will focus on that. He won't focus on the difficult problems that still remain.
Alison, thank you very much. Do stay with us as we turn over to our next story. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung has held talks with Brazil